Shelynn.
I'm David.
And we are Femme Fragile. So we got started as a band. It's kind of a small journey. Dave recorded an album for another band that I was in. And when we disbanded, he came to me for a haircut and was like, hey, I want to do like a bubblegum goth project. I don't know why I didn't think about you. Are you in? And now we're doing it.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot of music just kind of in my studio for fun, and I kind of heard a lot of these like sad boy rappers, I guess is the best way to put it, like Lil Peep and people like that, and I wanted
Lil
to
Peep.
Like Lil Peep, so hard to say his name. Yeah, so I wanted to write something kind of darker and kind of like with some trap kind of beats underneath it, something like that, and I had no idea who I was going to get involved in this project, and I had a bunch of stuff written, and then I was just getting a haircut, and I was like, wait a minute, you can sing. I've worked with you. I was like, you have the right fit and the right voice and all that kind of stuff. So I got her involved. Yeah.
It's been like
I don't even
4-ish
know.
years
It's been too
now, trying to get all this going.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of, when we started this project, it was meant to be like just a duo, is what we didn't really call it a band, because honestly, like I was just writing a bunch of beats and music, and then Shelynn was singing over top of it. So I hesitated to call it a band, but then as we got closer to needing to play live, and it just, with the way I'd written the album, I wrote it without any intention of anything. I just wrote it the way I wanted to write it, and it just became clear we needed another person to really make the live sound work, because I didn't want to just push play and kind of be like more of a DJ setup. So
it worked out funny too, because Dave said that he had someone in mind when we put a call out, and that someone in mind messaged him, and now here's Kyle.
Yeah,
and he just happened to be in our first music video too.
Yeah,
so it just kind of worked out because he has this little cameo in it.
That was before he was playing with us. Like, he was in our music video. So so we picked up Kyle, and now we have our first album fully recorded and everything, and we're just, I think, we're going to write soon, hopefully. I mean, there's so much work to do when you release an album, so that's the main focus right now. But we're excited to have Kyle be around.
And trying to work around that with our families.
That too. Yeah.
That's the hardest part, I think.
Yeah.
As far as aspirations, I feel like I want to sell out a stadium at some point as like a life goal. 'Cause that'd be cool. I can't imagine the energy that you would feel doing that. And I want to. My kids already think I'm a rock star, so I might as well go for the gusto.
I don't know if my goals are quite that lofty, but I mean, if we could play a stadium,
right? Like I'm up for anything.
I'd play a stadium. If anybody asked us to play that, I would. But no.
I haven't thought about it really. Like, I feel like I've reached a few of them, but right now I think my more realistic, timely goal, whatever, short term, is to maybe hit like 2,000 likes on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and that's the thing. It's like, I think we've always done this project out of passion, I think, than other things, right? So it's always been we just want to write music, and we like what we were doing, and I mean, we had some goals or ideas in mind, but it was always like, I don't know that we always did everything with that, thinking that that's where we're going to go.
Just for fun and like making fun of ourselves for being older emo kids.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But personally, for me, career aspiration wise, I work in the audio industry. That's what I do full time, more in film, but I do some music as well. And so stuff like this also for me is kind of I don't want to say like a reputation builder, I guess. Like it's good to put out stuff like this that's really well refined and polished, and it's kind of a promotion. It's a promotional tool just as much as it is about enjoying myself and having passion. So it does kind of help advance what I'm doing in my business too. So it's a win-win, really. Like, I'm wanted to do it anyway. So.
La a cry for help. This is a cry for help. Are you listening? 'Cause I want it all. But can I put up a fight anymore when all I do is try to be perfect? And now I wonder why. Was it never really worth it? When all I do is try to be perfect. And now I wonder why was it never really worth it? If I could not wake up, I'd be living a dream. If I could not choke up, is it all what it seems? This is a cry for help. Do you hear my cries? All I do is try. If I could not wake up, I'd be living a dream. If I could not choke up, is it all what it seems? This is a cry for help. Do you hear my cries? All I do is try. All I do is try. All I do is try. All I do is try.
The song All I Do Is Try is basically about my OCD. I just started being treated for it about 3 years ago, and I didn't realize that it was OCD. Like, I would change my clothes 12 times before I left, or you can't put a plate of food in front of me that I've never had before without me puking on the table. My OCD is pretty extreme in terms of aesthetic and food. If the house is dirty, that's not really my area, but it's always trying to be right and perfect. Like 98% isn't good enough. So that's pretty much where it came from. And that's pretty much the literal line is all I do is try to be perfect.
I just put it at the end of the album because I liked the last line. Yeah, for me, and it's funny. It's so cool hearing this because I don't. Again, like when Shelynn and I write, I'm not like, what do these lyrics mean all the time? I'm just like, oh, I like how that sounds. That's cool. And, I'm very much about like
Well, you interpret it the way that you feel it.
Right. And
Which is kind of cool because everyone else is going to.
Yeah. and this track we put at the end of our album. And what I liked about the track is when I hear the All I Do Is Try line, it's very much like I'm doing my best. Like I'm gonna do things. Like, that's what I got from it when I first heard it. Right. So
yeah, remember when we were jamming? That's why I got my stars.
Yes, that's right. Yes. So yeah, like I feel like that song, in some ways it frames the whole album because there's all these different struggles throughout the album, and at the end it almost feels kind of futile, that song. There's kind of this last whimper at the end of All I Do Is Try, and I don't know where that's going to take me, right? So, and I could relate to that personally too. Like there's some days when you're just on autopilot and
defeated.
Yeah, and like with some of the mental health struggles that we have, like for sure. I mean, there's times when even physically I'm just unable to do certain things, right? So, yeah. So I just feel like that line really resonates with me in that way of like, I'm just trying, and I'll see where that takes me. I don't know how far I can go today, right?
Like if I used to do a lot of portrait art and whatnot, and I quit drawing because even a little crinkle in my paper, I'd throw the entire piece away. So if the chorus is, all I do is try to be perfect. Now I wonder why, was it ever really worth it? And all I do is try to be perfect. Now I wonder why, was it never really worth it? So it's always that, if it's not right, why am I doing it? But then it's but why am I trying so hard? Because it's not going to happen the way I want it to anyway. But sometimes it does.
It's hard, yeah, like if you never reach that perfection, right? It's
oh my God.
Yeah, no, I can feel you on that a bit. I think in art in general, that's like a big thing is you're striving for quotes unquote perfection, but you never really get there.
Right. It's so subjective with creating
It's very
stuff.
subjective, right? And really any finished song is just something you walked away from at some point. That's
Right.
all it is, right? There's no...
And I haven't been upset with any of the stuff we've done.
Sure.
Like
I'll
I jammed
be
to
honest,
it in the car.
as
I'm our
a-
biggest fan right now.
Like as an audio engineer and producer, like there's still things I listen to. I'm like, I don't like that, but I'm going to leave it there because I know, again, I'm not the one who's consuming it. It's somebody else, right? And
well, I like it.
I'll never be 100% satisfied with anything I do. I think that's just the reality. So I could probably relate to you more than I think. Yeah. So
what inspires us the most at the moment is mental health and Trent Reznor.
Well, that's one of my big inspirations, but there's more to it than that. For sure.
No, I know. I'm just joking because it comes up in everything.
Trying so hard to get away from that. No,
I love it though.
that's good.
But yeah, every single song on this album, lyrically, is about the struggles with mental health that I've had. So we've got like OCD, disassociation, like friend breakups, abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Am I missing one?
I don't know. There's so much on it.
They're all different facets
Panic
of
attacks.
mental health stuff that I've.
Yeah.
Oh, and my eating disorder issues when I was growing up. So it's almost therapeutic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is for you, but
Yeah.
lyrically for me, when I was writing letters, I write when I drive a lot, so I listen to the tracks that Dave sends me, and then I'll just be like, oh, okay, so that it just comes, because I try not to force it, because it just doesn't feel right. I had to pull over so many times and cry writing that. It's not even funny, I couldn't see, but now I'm fine. Like, it helped me to deal with a lot of it. So as much as I love music and making it, it's like a tool for me to just get over stuff.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you know, I didn't write the music with any like specific intention in mind of like what was going to be over top of it lyrically, and I've always just let Shelynn have just free reign and just let her kind of write whatever, and I very rarely, you know, tweak much besides just a little production, right? And it's interesting because I guess a lot of the stuff I probably was pouring into the music was similar themes, and you know, I started going through some of my own issues the last few years that were way more debilitating than anything I'd been through before with mental health. And a lot of the stuff that she talked about on the songs were things that I was actually experiencing as well. And so, yeah, it was really interesting how that just married together naturally without us really intentionally trying to get to that point. And yeah, and so now when I listen to the music, it's now I hear it from a totally different light. Whereas before I was like trying to find emotions and, you know, just create something interesting. And now it's like I'm hearing it, I'm going, oh no, I'm hearing those words and it's making sense with what I've put there too. And I can relate to it myself in my own ways too. So it was very weird synergy that wasn't intentional. It
It's
just
kind of
kinda
cool.
happened.
I've never
Yeah.
been so creatively on the same page with someone. I don't think we've ever had like any argument. We're just like, oh well, maybe this would be better. Oh yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
It's just so fluid. It works.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever like disagreed on something we're doing at a song. I
No,
think
we're so on the same page.
We're just kind of, yeah, let's try that.
It's
Let's try
stupid.
this. Yeah.
It's stupid. We're so on the same page. Like, hey, I emailed this person. Oh, I was just about to do that. Or let's try taking some behind the scenes today. Oh, I already took a couple photos. Like it's all straight up the same thing.
Isolated, the time go? Who's that girl in the mirror? Eyes grow colder every day. Imitates my every move. Somehow I can't just look away. Where does the time go? Who's that girl in the mirror?
Imitates my every move. Somehow I can't just look away. Who's that girl?
Where does the time go? Where does it go? Where does the time go?
Somehow I can't just look away.
Who's that girl in the mirror?
So the song Disassociate, I had just started getting really, really extra depressed where I was, and I just don't know what happened. I didn't recognize the person in the mirror, and like the song's pretty literal. Everything was slow or too fast, and I didn't really know what was going on. I felt like I was just watching myself from another area, and it was just a really bad time. I don't really know what else to say about it. I just didn't know who I was looking at or what was going on with my life. And that's where the Here We Are, But Am I Here? Pretty literal take on what was going on.
It's a
for
fairly
that.
literal song, I think.
Yeah.
I actually titled the song based on what you
Yeah.
what you
I sent him
wrote.
the lyrics and he's like, oh, what do you think about the title Disassociate? I'm like, well, I started disassociating and that's what I wrote it about, so sure.
That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah. Well, and there's like other songs I heard from other artists that had like similar themes, and I always liked that. Like, I mean, it is a strange feeling to
It's so odd.
like not really recognize yourself or
Like you feel like you're on a movie
Yeah.
set and watching yourself from somewhere else.
Yeah. I've experienced that a few times, but it was probably drug induced, I think, or things like that. Like that was back when I was struggling with those things. But
That's fair.
yeah.
I can't say the same.
No,
I think that was before I got medicated and diagnosed with anything.
yeah, I don't know. Like even and for my side of it, honestly, it is fairly literal lyrically. So I mean, I've always just I wrote that song. Actually, that was a late addition to our album. We weren't initially going to do this song, yeah, I mean, I just wrote it. I liked it. She wrote some stuff too. To be honest, I don't really know that. Again, like when my process wasn't overly emotional in that way until she came into the picture, right? So once Shelynn writes the lyrics, then I can feel that out. Then I can feel that out a little more on my end, and like, okay, so musically I want to do a few more things this way or that way, or sound-wise this way. And there's a lot of like repetition in this song. It's kind of there's
Leave
a
it
lot,
to me to bring the
a lot
trauma.
of looping. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good though. So I wish I had something more profound to say about that song.
Right?
But it's so
no,
literal.
that one's hard to
Super literal.
say anything else about, because if you read the lyrics or if you know the lyrics, then you're just like, yep, that's disassociation.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, I don't recognize the person in the mirror. Where does the time go? All that stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here, but am I here? Are we here?
Yeah, in terms of the songwriting process, and when we started the project, a lot of it was just ideas that I had written, small guitar riffs, or, again, I was writing these kind of trap and hip hop inspired beats that had a little more of an industrial flair to them, and and then I found a lot of these kind of guitar riffs that I enjoyed, and I'd kind of blend the two, and you'll see what caught and what didn't. And yeah, I just created a whole library of ideas, to be honest, is how the songwriting process started. And then when I got Shelynn involved, I literally just sent her all this stuff that I already had uploaded, and I was like, hey, listen to this stuff, write to this, or is there any of this you connect with, right? And then that's kind of how it all started, really. And then I don't know, you could probably say what you did from that point, because once you gave me vocals, then I changed things. But yeah.
Well, it worked for us really well too, because I lived about 2 hours away, so him sending me tracks to write to just kind of made it all easier, and I would listen to them with the kids. Or like when I'm driving, like I said before. And I things would come organically, or I would just go through some old poetry and it would work really well. And we have one song where I wrote and then took it to him, and it's, I don't know, we do it both ways. Now we both just send each other stuff. And then Kyle started writing some riffs and stuff that we might use.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like whoever sends an initial idea, and then if something kind of catches, you just run with it. And like the song that Shelynn sent me, she just sent me like her performing some vocals with a melody, right?
Really badly recorded.
No, it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. You know, I plucked it in my Ableton Live session, and then I just kind of went with it. And actually, that one came together really fast. And I feel like that's
that Better When I'm Bitter?
It's Better When I'm Bitter, and it's like my favorite song on our album. Honestly, it's going to be our lead single. And it was, like I say, it's like she just wrote some stuff. I literally just put stuff underneath it, and really simple stuff, nothing crazy, and it grew really fast from there. So yeah, we can kind of, it's just like you put an idea together, and then you see where it takes you from there, and we're really malleable. We're not like I've definitely gone through some of our songs and gone, okay, now I'm going to do it this way instead, and just see what that's like, and it turns out to be something different. So
yeah, if I'm stuck on an ending, I'll just be like, I can't figure that out, and then we figure it out pretty much in the studio together.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing is I have my own studio, and like I know a lot of bands in the past I've been in, you would jam and come up with stuff, but I sit there at a computer just doing stuff and programming and performing and all these things, and it's like you get instant feedback on what the song sounds like because you've recorded it onto a session already, right?
And it's easier to practice, so you have more consistency when you're going in to actually get everything done.
Yeah.
So like actually recording our album and stuff, it was so easy because we already had like demos and stuff going.
They were all there, yeah. And it's easy enough for me to take those sessions and then translate them into a proper mix. So yeah, being a studio person and writing music is kind of really handy when you have all that gear and that knowledge. So it worked really good.